Welcome to Simplify to Scale, a show dedicated to helping you scale a high impact and high profit business that you love without all of the complexity and chaos that can keep you trapped in the day to day. I'm your host, Krista Grasso, and with decades of scaling experience, I know what actually works and what's just hype. So if you are done with all of the one-size-fits-all scaling advice and all of the overnight success promises, and instead you want proven practical strategies that will help you simplify operations, elevate your leadership, amplify profits, and scale sustainably, let's dive in and get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Simplify to Scale show. Today, we're going to be talking about the impact of AI on the future of operations. So, this is the fourth part of a multi part series. And in the prior episodes, we've been digging into how operations is changing as we look forward, some of the changes that have already happened today. And certainly, one of those really big ones is AI, right? AI is impacting so many different industries, it's impacting so much of what we do, how we run our business, even how we run our lives in a lot of different ways. And for some people, this is a little scary. Big question is AI going to take my job? We see all sorts of headlines and articles written about this. And I really think that this is a unique opportunity. Anytime we have something that's this significantly impactful to the way that we work, to the way that we live, we need to look at the opportunity in it and not fall into the fear of it. Yes, jobs are going to change. Yes, things are going to be very different. Yes, there's a lot of different things to consider. However, any single time something like this happens, think back to the days when we first launched the internet. And everyone who had a brick and mortar business was probably thinking, is this going to replace people coming into my store? What's all this online stuff people are going to talk about? And there were those who resisted and resisted and resisted. There were those who jumped right on it. And then there were those who eventually kind of fell into the middle, caught up, and found a way to adapt. Well, AI, I think, is going to be really significant in that same way. It is going to impact so much of the way that we think about things, approach things, the way that we hire, the way that we run, the way that we lead our businesses. And I think that we're past the point of those who are sitting on the sidelines waiting and wondering, is this going to impact things? Yes, it is. And instead of being afraid of it or fearful of it, or looking at what it's going to take away from you, I think it's looking at it through the lens of how can I make this one of the most valuable assets in what I do? Now, that doesn't mean you have to leverage AI. I am a big believer in it personally. I see so many of the benefits of using it in business and using it for business. But if you are somebody who says, I refuse to use it, that also can be an opportunity when it comes to the way that you position yourself. Maybe you are going to attract other people who do not want to use it. So, what I think we can't do is sit back and wait to see how it's going to impact. But what I think we can do, what I think the opportunity is look at how we want to leverage it. Look at how we want to position the way that we're leveraging it. And if we are somebody who works with businesses, whether we're a right hand leader, whether we're a coach, whether we're a consultant, whether we provide a service to other businesses, what I think we want to be looking at is as AI's capabilities keep increasing. As there's more and more things that a business might be able to do with AI that they previously could have hired you to do, how, instead of letting that take business away from you, do you find a way to use that as an incredible asset so that as AI capabilities are increasing, the demand for your work is increasing even more? So here's a question that I want you to think about and ask, and that is, how can I future proof my work so that the better AI gets, the more in demand I become? How does AI become a strategic asset to me instead of a risk? And so I'm going to talk about this today through the lens of operations, since that's what this series is all about. And when you think about operations and you think about the things that get done in your business operationally or that you do for a business operationally, right? In the past, some of that value came in with creating systems, implementing tools, integrating things together, putting the SOPs in place, really making sure that all the processes and the policies and the things were in place so that the business could run and create repeat results. Fantastic, super valuable, and AI is able to do more and more of that. AI can write your SOPs for you. I have prompts that I give people in my certification programs to do this. AI can take a plan or take an idea and break it down into a project plan. It can create tasks. It can add your tasks to your project management tool. It can set automations. It can set reminders. It can do a lot of the things that somebody who is wearing a project management hat could have done in the past. It can send communications. It can send updates. It can do those things now with more advanced logic than you might even realize that it could do. It can handle a lot of your data and your analytics for you. It can capture your metrics for you. It's a fantastic research assistant. It can go out and do a lot of research. It can assess trends. It can look at competitors. It can help you do something that you frequently would have had multiple people out researching and trying to come up with different recommendations and pull things together for. It can create full workflows for you, not just your policies and your processes and SOPs, although it does that incredibly well also. And as AI agents are becoming more common, as there's other capabilities that are growing increasingly fast, what you're finding is that it can do more complex logic. It can solve more complex problems. It can make more complex decisions, and it can work autonomously. And so I know something I hear in the Soul Collective a lot, something that I hear even inside the certifications is if AI can do all of this, what if the businesses that I work for realize that AI can do all of this and then they think they don't need me anymore? But while there's plenty of those things on that list that maybe you do today, or maybe you have your team do for you today, and you're thinking, all right, that feels a little scary. That feels a little risky. The reality is, there are still a lot of things that AI can't do. And it is going to be a really, really, really long time before or if ever AI can do these things. So it's one thing to write an SOP. It's one thing to pull data and metrics. It's one thing to do research. It's one thing to do the different tasks, even some of the complex multi-layered ones. But what it can't do is it cannot orchestrate all of the moving pieces of the business. Think about all of the complexity, all of the different plates that you keep spinning in the business, all of the different things that you need to fit together and all the puzzle pieces that you need to fit together, all the different people that you need to pull together at the right time. Sure, maybe you can give it a goal and it could turn it into a project plan. I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of gaps in that project plan because, well, it might be able to figure out what needs to get done. It does not have the historicals of the business, it does not have the lessons learned. It does not know all the things that you tried and that did not work in the past, or the things that for your particular market would not land and would not work well. So while it can tactically do some of those things, it is missing the intuitive piece. It is missing a lot of the strategic piece, and it is absolutely missing that orchestration piece, that ecosystems thinking piece where it can pull all of these different experiences and pieces together. And where it can do that over time, where it gets to know and knows the humans on the team. It knows the founder, or if you are the founder, it knows the operator. It knows the marketing person. It knows the salesperson. It knows every single person on the team and how they work individually and how they work together as a team, their strengths, their weaknesses, how they need to be motivated, how they need to be communicated to. It doesn't have the ability to hold that context and lead people through change, providing that level of clarity, pulling out of them a certain level of conviction and commitment. It isn't able to do that in a way that you can. It's not able to be the person that the founder leans on and trusts to get things done. Sure, they might use it as a thinking partner. They might use it to review things or to analyze things or to prompt things or to talk things out, which I'm saying in air quotes. But it's not the same thing as having a person available by their side to be able to support them that they know gets them and gets their business and is as committed to their business as they are. It doesn't understand all the unspoken expectations that come up that you pick up on after working at a place or working with a team for a period of time. It's not able to protect the founder from their blind spots or individuals from their blind spots in a way that doesn't trigger a whole bunch of defensiveness and actually end up derailing progress or impacting motivation and momentum. It's not able to identify what's missing from that intuitive place. Yes, it can look at it from a data perspective, but it's looking through a particular lens and it's not able to take that data with that intuition, that gut, that knowing that develops because of the patterns you're able to recognize, the things you're able to pick up on in the lived experiences that you've been a part of. There's so much that comes from your physical presence. There's so much that comes from your ability to discern things. There's so much that comes through that lived experience and that leadership and that connection that AI is not able to do. And I think that's something that's so important to remember. Yes, AI can do a lot of things, but AI can't lead in the way a person leads. AI can't strategize in the way a person strategizes. And yes, you could argue that AI is a good thinking partner and it can help you be really strategic. It can do all those things if you understand how to leverage it right, but it's not able to set strategy across a business the way somebody who knows the business and has that context and has that lived experience can. Not in a way that's really meaningful when a business wants to scale or when a business wants to scale more simply and more sustainably. And so, if you think about all of that, if you think about those are the things that AI can't do really well, those are the things, again, that it's not going to be able to do well really soon. And even if it does, think about how few people would understand how to properly use it or prompt it or work with it to be able to do those things. Well, then, if you know it can start to take over some of the repetitive or execution based things that you do, then how can you step more into the leadership and the strategic leadership, in the ownership, in the outcome focus? How can you step more into that as someone who works with and supports businesses? Some of this comes into the last episode where I talked about learning to speak visionary. So, if you think about it, if you're speaking as somebody who is working with a business in terms of tasks, I am going to create a project plan. I am going to enter tasks in the tool. I am going to get these things done. If that is the language in which you speak, what the founder is hearing is you do the thing that AI can do. Why am I paying you to do it? Or why would I hire you to do it? I heard I could get this tool for 20 bucks a month that's going to do it for me. I heard I could just use this existing new feature within a tool I already pay for that's going to do that for me. Why do I need you to do it? And so, if you speak in terms of execution, if you speak in terms of tasks, if you talk like what AI says it can do, then you get compared to what AI can do. But if you speak in the language that visionaries can understand, if you differentiate yourself in such a way where you are now the one who's owning outcomes, who's leading the team, who's setting strategy, who's looking across the business, if you're the person who knows, like deeply knows the right things to do and the right things to do for that particular business, given the existing team, given the context, given the vision, given where the founder wants to take it, given their strengths, given their blind spots, if you're able to do those things and communicate those things in a way that the founder can see it, they can feel that value of it, they are never going to confuse you for what AI can do. And if you then can take AI as a strategic asset and you can say, and not only am I going to do all of these things, but I understand AI. I understand where it works best. I understand where the human touch is absolutely critical. By leveraging AI here or by putting an automation here, it's actually going to negatively impact the client experience. But if we do it over here, it's going to free up this capacity so that we actually have more time to provide a higher touch experience for our clients, a better, more personalized experience for our clients. That all of a sudden also starts to set you apart because, well, a lot of founders, well, a lot of businesses, even a lot of people can experiment with AI, can maybe even master certain things that AI can do. Very few truly understand all of its capabilities. Very few truly understand how to integrate AI agents into their team. Very few really truly understand how to do things beyond basic automations. Who's managing the AI? Who's setting up and configuring the AI? Who's making sure that things are actually working well? Who's making sure that things that are getting created are on brand, align with the brand values, follow the guiding principles, actually create the experience and the results that you're leveraging it for? Right? If you get beyond the cool, sexy nature of it, is it actually doing what you need it to do? Is it actually saving time? Is it actually saving money? Is it actually improving client experience? Is it increasing conversions? Is it improving retention? Is it leading to more referrals? Like, what are the things, the goals that you care about in the business? What are the things that are going to move the business forward and drive more profitability? Is it actually doing those things? And who's the person who understands how to leverage it in such a way so that it does? Well, if that person is you, you are all of a sudden the most valuable person on the team. And it doesn't matter what capabilities AI can do in the future, because if you're the one that understands those things, and if you are the one that knows how to use it, which ones are important to pay attention to, which ones are just noise and distractions, again, you become the most valuable person in the room. And so I think when people are scared of AI taking their job, or when people can buy into some of the fear and some of the hype around it, it's because they don't fully understand how to position their own value. So they might be getting compared to AI, or they see on paper some of the same things that they do that AI can do. And that can start to be a little, ooh, things are slowing down. Not as many people are saying yes. I'm getting asked questions about why am I going to pay you to do this if this tool does it? And all of a sudden it puts people into a bit of a reactionary fear based state. And when you really understand the difference between where AI is super valuable and where you stand out and where you are completely irreplaceable, that allows you to future proof your work. That allows you to use AI as the strategic asset that it can be. And so, will AI impact operations? Absolutely. There is a lot that is done manual today that does not need to be done manual tomorrow. There is a lot that you pay people to do today that you do not need to pay people to do tomorrow. But does that mean that your entire team goes away and the only thing you have left is a whole bunch of AI agents? Probably not. Probably not anytime soon. And certainly, if your goal is to scale your business, if your goal is to still provide that really high touch luxe experience for your clients. If you are here for the transformation and not for the transaction, which if you are a listener of this show, I'm going to assume that you are, because that tends to be the type of person that I attract into my world, then you don't want everything to be fully automated anyway. You want to use automation and use AI where it makes sense so that you have the space and the focus to use people where it makes sense. And one of those most valuable people you could possibly have on your team, if you are a founder, is somebody who understands how and where to leverage AI and who has the skills and the capabilities that I mentioned in this episode. And if you are the person who supports founders, who works with businesses as a right hand, as a consultant, as an advisor, having these skills and understanding this, again, that's what is going to set you apart from almost everybody else. That is why I know within our certification programs, we put a lot of focus on this. We have, even inside our community, our Soul Collective, every single month, we lead a live AI workshop because it's not really something you can pre record. I taught Simplify and Scale with AI for a while. great program. I stopped teaching it because things were moving so quickly and changing so quickly that I decided instead of having it as a program, I'm just going to deliver the content live and I'm going to do it every single month live inside of Soul Collective. So people are always getting what is the most useful current thing right now? What's changing? What do you need to be ahead of? What do you need to know? And certainly within our certifications, we look at for every single thing you do in the business, where does it make sense to leverage AI? What are the prompts that you can use? What are the tools that are the best? And how do you keep your tool stack super, super simple so you don't end up with 100 different tools doing 100 different things? How can you boil it down to just a few? So these are some of the things that I think you want to be thinking about. These are some of the things that I see as being super important as we look to the future of operations and the impact that AI is going to have on that. So if you know that really stepping up what you do with AI, your understanding of AI, your understanding of how to really leverage it in a business is a focus area for you, I would love to invite you to check out our certification programs. Just head to strategicopsinstitute.com/certification. We are right now accepting applications for our cohorts that are kicking off in October. And there you will find all of the details. But I recommend if you have any interest at all, just fill out the application and that gets you to a call with myself or with Jessica. And we'll talk through things with you. We'll see if it's a good fit. I also invite you to join me for my live Future of Ops workshop, where we dig a little bit deeper into all these things, and you have the opportunity to ask me your questions live. You can head to strategicopsinstitute.com/future to get registered for that. All of these links will be down below in the show notes. I hope you got a lot of value out of this episode. I will see you again next week. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Simplify to Scale. If you'd like to take things further, I invite you to join me for my Scale Smarter, Not Harder interactive workshop. Head to strategicopsinstitute.com/scale smarter to get registered. Not only will we dive into what might be keeping you trapped in the day-to-day, but you'll have the opportunity to ask me your questions live. If you got value out of today's episode, I'd love if you'd take a moment and rate and review the show so more businesses can learn to scale more simply and sustainably. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and I'll see you again next week.